There we go. Jesus Christ. I am having technical difficulties like crazy today, guys. I apologize. There we go. Is that working? Sorry I'm late, but yeah, just all kinds of technical difficulties today, of course. Week has just been that kind of week. Yeah, that kind of week for Superman 2, am I right? All right, guys, what's happening? Hit that like, thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Oh, thank God for Wine Wednesday, right? Cheers. Hopefully you guys are doing good. And, of course, we got some chatting to do. Let's talk about some movie stuff. Not too much to talk about, but, hey, we got a movie coming out this weekend. We got some movie trailers that are going to be coming out. Super Bowl. And, hey, I watched Spider-Man, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And then, of course, we'll talk about some Superman things and the craziness that is the fandom. All right. Let's see, what do we got here? We got Amory Daniels. Tom Welling's first mistake was being at an Arby's. I disagree with that. I disagree. What's happening, Ryan? Good to see you. Indiana J, Uma Thurman, Cass, and Dexter. Hell yeah. Never watched Dexter. I know it's one of those on the list that I should watch. Taladia Plays, what is happening, good sir? Game City Savior. Oh, great. Now you want to talk about Smallville? 20 years ago in Season 4, Episode 1, he still flew better than Mr. 2025. Okay. Of course, Game City Savior with, of course, his enlightening fucking opinions right here. Anyways, okay. Mr. Nobody. I feel like every week there's a new thing to hate on. Oh, yeah. And we still got 6 months. And we're going to have, obviously people in the chat, like the beginning of Monday's show, and of course like that, so. But I feel like every week, yeah, remember when people were complaining about Superman's suit? The movie hasn't come out yet, and even now it's already an afterthought, I know. Now it's even more stuff when it comes to all that. Eric, I happen to love Arby's myself, there you go. But from the look of it, maybe Tom's been there too often. What is it with Superman having a fat-looking face this week? That's kind of funny. That is kind of funny, so. What's going on, Axel? Good to see you, buddy. All right, we got Eric Patterson right here. How's everything going for you today? Yeah, not too shabby. Like I said, it's just pretty crazy, like stuff that's happening. I think I'm gonna, like I said, something's going on in real life that things are kicking into gear when it comes to real life. I'll talk about it in the members only stream. I'll let you guys know what's going on when it comes to that. And yeah, so there's that, there's work, there's all kinds of stuff. And then of course, like I say, today I had to had computer issues that were happening as per usual. I know that's one of the things on my list. And then like the next year or so is to get a new computer, because this computer, man, keep on trying to like salvage it as much as possible. So we'll be okay. We got Mask of Shy right here. Yeah, poor Tom. Yeah, he'll be all right though. No, Arby's sucks ass. Nah, I disagree. Highly disagree. Usually people that say Arby's sucks ass love McDonald's. And I'm going, are you fucking kidding me? Or Burger King. And I'm like, what? Ugh. What's going on, Robin? Good to see ya. Happy to see ya. All right. Okay, guys. Yeah, we'll do some chatting. Hit that like, thumbs up. What's going on with this? Okay. All right, sorry, I just got an email. I was like wondering what the heck that email was. But yeah, guys, it's Wednesday. It's Wine Wednesday. And like I said, yeah, if you want to be a member right there, cheers. If you want to be a member, we could do we do a members only stream after every Wednesday show, so you guys can pick my brain a little bit. And like I said, I'll give you guys some of the news. That's what's happening in reality life, because it's good to be in reality. Some people definitely need that more than others. That's for damn sure. When it comes to everything lately, that's I mean, my God, woo! Some of the stuff you see out there, and you just go, what the actual F? But hey. Whatever, it's fine. All right, let's go ahead and get started here, guys. Well, let's get started. I mean, this is kind of DC news, but kind of not. We got Lady Gaga. Let's start off with Lady Gaga. on today's show, and Lady Gaga finally speaks out on, the failure that was Joker Folie à Deux. That's right, Joker 2. We were kind of wondering, when were people going to start talking about, talk about that, at least, when it comes to her, when it comes to Joaquin Phoenix, when it comes to Todd Phillips. Wonder what their reactions are going to be. I mean, obviously Todd Phillips, I think he took his bag of money and just went to the woods and just was like, I'm going to hang out for a bit. Joaquin Phoenix, who knows what's going on with him. But of course, Lady Gaga, she's got music and stuff to promote, so why not? So she's going to be interviewed. But this is what she had to say right here. Lady Gaga had this to say: people sometimes don't like some things. It's that simple. And I think to be an artist, you have to be willing for people to sometimes not like it. You keep going even if something didn't connect in the way that you intended. What a reasonable thing to say. There you go, huh? Yes, that's what happens. Sometimes people just don't like it. No big deal, right? Hey, you thought it was going to be something, ended up not being something, and then you move on, Simple mistakes, and that's what happens. And that's what happens when it comes to movies, You never know. You capture lightning in a bottle that first time around, then it's like, all right, well, let's try to do something different the second time around. Didn't quite work. Seemed like the pieces should have been there, but it didn't didn't quite work. So, it's just what happens. It's what happens. So, I still liked it. I still liked Joker 2, so I didn't have any issues. But people had issues with Anthony Mackie. That's for damn sure. Anthony Mackie.
Captain America.
Whoop. So Anthony Mackie got a little backlash yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm sure some of you guys saw this, but obviously the marketing for Captain America: Brave New World is just kicked into full gear, and yeah, we got Anthony Mackie right here at a little Q&A, and somebody asked him, of course, when it comes to Captain America, all this kind of stuff. So let's listen to what he has to say right here.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations. It's about...
That's already starting off a little rocky there, Anthony. Just saying, I don't know about that. That's where people started going, what the F?
A man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity.
Okay.
Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. It's kind of... This is kind of like an aspect of a dream coming true. When I was a kid, all of us as actors, I believe, want to get back to that day before someone told you no. When you look out your door and you see a 5-year-old kid with a stick and he's slaying dragons to save the princess in the tower, that kid really believes there are dragons out there. That stick is really a sword and he's really trying to save that princess. And then one day, somebody told him, no, there are no dragons, that's not a sword, and that princess is not there. And all of his little dreams were dashed. So, as an actor, I feel like our job is to get back to the day where we see that dragon and we slay that dragon to save that princess. And that's kind of what this movie was for me. For me, Captain...
So there you go. So in the full context, obviously there's going to be people that got upset just from the first thing. Just the first thing when he says Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. So naturally, what's going to happen, especially since everything is political, the diehard conservatives, of course, came out with their torches and pitchforks and everything like that. But I'm just saying, it's maybe not the best way to start it off. Maybe not the best way to start off when he said like that. But everything else he had to say, I actually go, okay, that's actually fine, Anthony Mackie. Perfectly fine. And then, of course, after that, all the backlash came in. That Feige Pants got on the phone with him. And then he was like, "Hey, you're gonna have to follow this up here a little bit." And basically, this is what he had to say right here. He posted, "Let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American, and taking on the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country. Cap has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to. So that's the thing. It's like, you know, you got Captain America, no matter what, there's always going to be that aspect of it. And then, of course, with a new Captain America, which, you know, a lot of us kind of went like, yeah, it should have been Bucky. You know, let's face it. Some of us, it should have been Bucky. But at the same time, it's fine. And the Falcon gets it. I mean, who knows? Who knows how this movie's going to do? But, yeah, I think there was a little bit of an overreaction, a little bit. I mean, I will say, I think he was going down one street, and then he was like, no, maybe I should say this. I don't know. There's a lot of tipping around eggshells, a lot of tipping around when it comes to this Captain America movie. You know, where we got a new administration that is in the White House. It's very polarizing. A lot of things are happening, and then you're in a movie called Captain America, so you want to represent that. He's a soldier. He's fighting for America and doing all this stuff, but then at the same time, you want to be universal. You want to say this. You want to say it's all pretty crazy. It's all pretty crazy. But yeah, he put that out there, and he just wanted to say, like, hey, I'm a proud American, you know, I'm a proud American. But I think he'll be okay. But yeah, it's gonna be a rough marketing. So I don't know. In my opinion, yeah, don't start off like that. But it's fine. Whatever. Let's not go too crazy with this whole thing. Oh man, and that movie. Who knows what's gonna happen with that movie? My God. Yeah, it's coming up. What, in 2 weeks? Coming up in 2 weeks. Yeah. And then, you know, it's also coming up, I think, what, in March? Right? Oh. Cannot wait for this movie right here. A new trailer. Did you guys see the new trailer for Sinners? Oh. Looks really good.
Oh, we heard.
Showing more of the vampire stuff. Oh, it's April. Sorry, I thought it was March. Michael B. Oh, yeah. That's right. There's Haley Steinfeld. That's right. The future Mrs. Josh Allen right there. Looking all vampire-like. And, yeah, pretty gory. I love this shot right here of Michael B. right here with the Tommy gun. That's right. Freaking dude's arms are huge, man. God, that's just, I don't know. It's just a cool shot right there. Just such a cool shot. Really looking forward to Sinners. That's right, guys. There's more than just cape shit coming out that we got to talk about, right? So that just looks really good. Why is she getting married? Well, maybe because she's in love music, man. I don't know. That's usually why people get married. I'm just going to take a stab that maybe she loves that guy. Maybe he loves her. It's possibly the reason. I don't know. And then we got Denis Villeneuve, which I always say his name wrong, but we got Dune Messiah. Dune Messiah, when is it coming out? What's it gonna, you know, we were all kind of worried when it came to Dune Messiah, like, oh, he's gonna wait forever. It's not gonna be for a while before we see it. He's gonna do other projects before that, but no, I think Warner Brothers is like, are you sure? We need you to kind of do it now. And then we'll keep continuing because, you know, if we wait too long, I don't know. That's the sad fact of the matter is like nowadays, people's attention spans, yeah, it's not there anymore. You wait too long, people just start forgetting about shit. And I think they were probably like, you know, when it comes to Dune Prophecy, the show, good show, great show, but, you know, that's not going to keep people, you know, engaged and interested in Dune if we have to wait like another 5 years before another Dune sequel. So I think they were kind of just like, hey, we'll put another zero on your check, or, you know, we'll up your payment if you know, get Dune Messiah going right now. And according to Deadline, he's in the writing zone right now. He's in the zone, the writing zone. Filming will start sooner than expected. Film takes place 12 years after part 2. Story will finish the Paul Atreides arc, which, of course, I think we all kind of figured that. But, yeah, he's in the writing zone right now. So, I mean, it's probably not going to come out till like 2027. We're still going to be waiting a little bit. But, hey, you know, come out the same year as the Batman part 2. We've been waiting for so long for that. So it's like, but, hey. Take your time. Like I said, let these guys do their thing. That's all we want, right? We just want them to do their thing. Let's see. Oh, yeah. And then Well, all right. I'll get to that in a little bit right there. Let's see. What else we got? Let's see. Ooh, hey, we got some more. We got some more DCU Batman concept art. This one from John Regan, who is an excellent digital artist that's out there. He's been creating many things. I've shown some of his artwork. He's got a new Brandon Sklenar Batman design right here. Not too shabby. This one, kind of has that more rebirth, like it's got the big bat with like the yellow outline, which is pretty cool. I like the design, pretty sleek right here when it comes to the armor. The cowl looks good. And then he's got even a blue version, which I actually do really like the blue version. Maybe a little too much blue, like when it comes to certain spots. I get it though. I get what he was going for, adding a little bit more blue than there normally would be, but I still dig it. And I really think that when it comes to the DCU Batman, they will go with that navy blue or that dark blue or something like that. I just would not be surprised. Why not? It's got to be something different. And then we got Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal might be teaming up with a one M. Night Shyamalan. That's right. According to Deadline, is this Deadline? Yes, Deadline, Justin Kroll. Yes, it is true. Jake Gyllenhaal is in talks to star in M. Night Shyamalan's next movie. What you didn't know is that it's based on a new original idea from Nicholas Sparks. What? A romance movie? He's the one that did the romance novels like, what did he do? He did The Notebook, right? Isn't that a Nicholas Sparks? But he does all that. But yeah. You see right here, based on an original story co-created by Shyamalan and global best-selling novelist Nicholas Sparks. Shyamalan and Sparks are independently writing a screenplay and a novel, respectively, based on the same original love story. Both projects will be based on the same concept of set characters, but tailored to their respective mediums. For Shyamalan, not only does he land another A-lister to lead his family, as so many are always looking to work with him, this also marks the first time he will collaborate with a high-profile writer on an idea. So there you go. So he's busy. That's pretty cool. I think that's a good match right there, right? I mean, it's gonna be a love story mixed in with something kind of paranormal, right? Because it's M. Night Shyamalan, so. And like I said, I don't care what anybody says. I really enjoyed Trap. And then, of course, Christopher Nolan adds yet another to his star-studded ensemble of a cast for the Odyssey. And it's somebody he's worked with before. Benny Safdie? I always say the last name wrong, but you guys know who this guy. He was in Oppenheimer. He's part of the Brother crew, who's made some other good movies too as well. So. Yeah, so add him to the Odyssey cast as well. And I'm sure we'll still hear about more people added to the cast. I mean, they're filming the damn thing right now, for God's sakes. What's going on, Stephanie? What's going on, Jose? Good to see you. And then who's fans of the movie Romy and Michelle's high school reunion? Anybody? It's a dumb, fun movie, right? Lisa Kudrow, Mina, what is it? I forgot her name. Mira Sorvino. I could not remember. I was like, Mina? Because there's that one actress from American Pie, Mina Savario or something like that. My brain was like, wait, which name is it? My brain just had a freaking stroke right there. Couldn't remember. But there's finally going to be a sequel, Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion 2 with Mira Sorvino and Lisa Kudrow, Taps director. And my first thought, because a lot of people were using this little banner right here, what the fuck? Who created that banner of them right there? Are their necks okay? Are they possessed? God, that is like some shoddy kind of Photoshop kind of stuff. Like Lisa Kudrow's head is almost like more than 90 degrees turned. And then Mira Sorvino doesn't even look. I was just like, I saw a lot of people using that banner, including comingsoon.net right there. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Shoddy. That's a very shoddy Photoshop right there. But hey, you know. Hey, let's see. What, are you guys arguing about stuff right here? What's going on? We got real anarchy in here. God forbid a grown man gets drunk once in a while. Call the news. What? Oh yeah. You're talking about Tom Welling. Okay. But yeah, so anybody fans of that movie, then, it'll be all right. Academy Award winner. That's right. She did win an Academy Award. That was for, was it for that, what's his name's movie? Anyways, Karali Fargate. I don't even, I'm probably saying her name wrong, but the director of The Substance, who did a fantastic job directing The Substance, really enjoyed The Substance. Did you guys know that she almost directed the Black Widow movie? That's right, according to Variety. Karali was approached by Marvel to direct Black Widow, but it was cut short because preliminary talks and stayed focused. She cut short those talks and stayed focused on The Substance. So she's been trying to make The Substance for a while, which I say, good on you. Good on you. Good on you, girl. You did. You chose wisely. You definitely chose wisely. You chose a more original passion project that is getting all kinds of nominations. I don't know if it's going to win Best Picture. I mean, it'd be kind of cool if it did, because if you've seen the ending of The Substance, can you imagine how bonkers that ending is? Well, the whole movie's bonkers, but you can imagine that movie winning like a Best Picture. But yeah, she passed up on Black Widow, which nobody talks about Black Widow really anymore. I mean, I guess it kind of do. You got Thunderbolts coming out, which have some returning characters, but yeah, she chose wisely. She chose wisely. And then speaking of MCU stuff, shocker! Yeah, that's right. Shocker, guys. Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah, he got that one wrong. Yep, he's going to be in Avengers Doomsday. He said, I got that wrong. I'm in the next one. Don't ever believe anything I say. There you go. So it's just, when the first news that he said, oh yeah, I'm not going to be in that one. And then he said, like, spoilers, fuck it. I think it was like, I thought it was funny, but I was like, but who knows? Who knows? He might be misleading. So he definitely did. So yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch is definitely going to be in the next one, in Doomsday. And then, yes, guys, if you guys saw my first reaction, I posted a first reaction this morning from a movie I did watch last night, and that very movie was Emilia Perez. That's right. I try to watch all the Best Picture nominations, and started off with Emilia Perez because that's the most controversial one. That's the one that got nominated for 13 Oscars, and there was a lot of backlash because a lot of people were like, how the hell did this movie get nominated for so many Oscars? And yeah, and the clips I saw, I couldn't believe. I was like, wow, this really did get nominated for that? That's pretty interesting. And you know what's going to be more interesting than the Oscars, than seeing who wins and stuff like that, is the drama that some of this is going to cause, because apparently the star, Carla Sofia Gascon, according to this tweet right here, she was in an interview, and we'll have to play it right here, but it says, has violated the Academy's Oscar rules by accusing nominee Fernanda Torres' team of spreading hate against her and the cast of Emilia Perez during a Brazilian interview. Any public communication by anyone associated with an eligible film attempting to cast negative on competing film will not be tolerated, as stated the Academy. So then we got a community note right here that says that her accusations has no basis. I'm still here doesn't have an official profile on social media. Fernanda Torres uses her official Instagram, which is sourced below, where there's no negative mention of Emilia Perez or Gascon. Fernanda asked people to not offend anyone. So there's already drama when it comes to that. There's already big time drama when it comes to that. And I tell you what, there's going to be probably more, because a lot of people are just baffled. And if you guys saw my first reaction, like I said, the movie, the story in and of itself could have been interesting, but the musical elements were so fucking bad. And then they should. Okay, so let me see here. I have something bookmarked. Something bookmarked that I had when I remember before I saw this movie. So I had something bookmarked. It was like a thread that talked about everything wrong with Emilia Perez. Okay, so here, let's just go down this little, it's not that long, but let's go down the little list right here when it comes to Emilia Perez and why people are not happy with it. I think in that community note, it was also saying that, the Mexican community is not too happy when it comes to it. So, first things first, the French director, who is not fluent in either English or Spanish, stated he did not need to learn about Mexican culture because he already knew enough, which explains why his film was full of offensive stereotypes and misrepresentation. Already starting off great. The casting director declared the cast was supposed to be Mexican, but there were not enough talented Mexican actors. All the actors were Europeans or foreigners, USA, and Latin origins, like Selena Gomez was born and raised in the USA. I think she's like part Mexican and like Italian or something like that. She also said they adjusted the character's origins in the script to fit the accents of the actors they chose. Selena's character was originally Mexican, but they changed it after her because her Spanish was not good. The only Mexican in the film was Adriana Paz, plays a secondary role just like Selena and Zoe, but she was not chosen by the directors as a bet in the Best Supporting Actress categories. Mexican actor Eugenio Derbez criticized Selena's Spanish not only for its lack of a Mexican accent, but for its disassociation with the language. After Selena commented on his valid criticisms on TikTok, his fans harassed him to the point that he had to publicly apologize on TV. Selena Gomez says she didn't have much time to learn and practice Spanish, but she has been releasing music in Spanish since her Disney days in 2010. In 2021, she released an entire EP, which was her first Latin Grammy nomination, even though she is American. And then, of course, there's this more stuff, too. The problem is that this is a French film telling a Mexican story. It's the way they did it and all this kind of stuff. And, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. And then it gets into, like, more things, too. But, yeah, that's basically it right there. And, yeah, it's kind of a shit show when it comes to it. Because, if you guys saw my reaction to it, I mean, yeah, the accents are rough. I mean, Zoe Saldana did better than Selena Gomez, that's for damn sure. But man, there is the music numbers was I'm like, why do we need these music numbers in there? They're so bad. They are so bad. They are pretty damn terrible. And so I'm like, why do we need those in there? And I'm like saying, like, yeah, good on Zoe Saldana. She's got that Marvel and Avatar money, so this won't hurt that bad. But at the same time, she won a Golden Globe, and I'm just going, why? Why exactly? I don't know. And it's funny because Zoe Saldana, she's not Mexican either. She's like Puerto Rican and Dominican or something like that. It's just kind of weird. It's all just kind of weird, and I'm just kind of going like, did Netflix just fork over a bunch of money to get this movie nominated like crazy? It almost feels like that. And then, yeah, Selena Gomez's accent. It's kind of funny, too, because, I'm half Mexican, and you can hear the difference. You can hear when somebody is like fluently. Obviously, my Nana, may she rest in peace, who passed away last year, when she would speak Spanish to me, or my grandma Lupe, who passed away a few years ago and everything, or just anybody who spoke Spanish, you hear the authenticity in the accent and everything like that. And sometimes when you know that somebody doesn't have, just learned it later on and stuff like that, you kind of hear it. You don't hear that accent. You have that ear, so you could tell. So it was like a little rough. And that's why at the end of my first reaction, I was like, hey, if you're going to make a movie that has Mexican characters, hire some Mexican actors that could speak Spanish. That's just what it is, But it's all crazy. And then I know Selena Gomez has got some heat recently too. First off, I've never found the fascination with Selena Gomez. I never found the fascination in her, first off. But I know she got heat recently because she posted a video of her crying because of all that's happening when it comes to deportations that are happening in the States. And I was like, well, she perfectly should feel like that. It's perfectly fine, have sympathy and all that stuff. But she made it about her. She made it about her, okay? And that's what happens with these celebrities. They make it about them. She started crying, and then she decided to turn on her camera and then post it on social media. And then, of course, you know, she wanted everybody, oh, look at, she feels some sympathy, you know, she has sympathy for them. And I'm like, okay. And then, of course, then the other side comes in and starts, you know, going after her. And then she deletes and goes, Jesus Christ, you know, plays the victim thing. And I'm just kind of going like, you're worth $1.3 billion. That is correct. Selena Gomez is worth a lot of money. She has her beauty line. So I'm like, instead of just making a crying video and posting it on TikTok, use your money, your power to actually help families or something like that. How about that? I'm just saying, and that's why I say for any other celebrity, instead of just like posting a crying video and making it about you, do something with what you have worked hard for and the privileges that you have to help people instead. Just saying, try that out. Can we try that out? Try that out instead. That's what I'm saying. Why film yourself? Why film yourself? Because you're a narcissist. That's what I thought. I thought, oh, okay, she's perfectly okay to feel like that and have tears about that and everything like that. But the fact that you film yourself and put it on social media, you made it about yourself. Okay? And that's not what you should do. You should take the money and connections you have and actually help. Actually make a difference. Okay? Posting a crime video doesn't do shit. All it does is it causes more of the political discourse. That's all it did. It just caused more of a discourse. That's what it did. Ridiculous. Sorry, I had to go on that little rant right there. Because I thought that was absolutely... And like I said, I don't understand. I never understood, like... I was like, I don't think she's that great of a singer, especially in Emilia Perez. Oof. I never seen, like, the big fascination with her. And then I'm like, yeah, see, that makes sense. You're crying. You're crying. You're doing all that. Yeah, you're crying in there. You're worth $1.3 billion. Look it up. I looked it up because I remember hearing that she was worth a ton because of her beauty company. You know, she worked her ass off, freaking created wealth. So use that wealth. Use that wealth to help these people. You could sponsor families. You could take something to Congress. You could do something. You can make something happen. But no, let's fucking cry, turn on the camera, and post it on social media. I'm like, that all that did was make things worse. That's all it did. Ugh. Fucking celebrities. Am I right? Jesus. All right, let's talk about some of the main topics right here. First up, before we start getting into all the Superman madness, well, it's not too much Superman. And there's really nothing. I just figured, you know, it has been a pretty rough week for Superman things, you know. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's first talk about, let's see, we got a couple of things here. All right, well, first off, James Gunn did respond to somebody asking about Creature Commandos and asked about other characters that he considered when it came to doing Creature Commandos. So here we go right here. This is on Threads, of course. Hey, James Gunn, really enjoyed Creature Commandos. Like with the Suicide Squad, did you go through a number of different characters for the team before going with the ones that you chose? And which characters did you consider for the team early on? I definitely considered Wolfpack. Interesting choice. And especially Man-Bat, one of my faves. And I was like, ooh, Man-Bat. There we go. But I knew I wanted to tell Weasel's story, so it felt like too many rabid and fuzzy characters. I considered Vincent Vaccaro, but wanted to choose a creature far outside the usual roster from another part of the DC, so I went with Dr. Phosphorus instead. I also considered Solomon Grundy, another favorite, but was pretty set on Frankenstein. So yeah, so we had some, I mean, some of those characters. I don't, Vincent Vaccaro. I'm not even. I'm like totally blanking on who that even is. Wolfpack, and then of course Man-Bat. Man-Bat. I'm like, wouldn't that be interesting if like in the Clayface movie somehow they put Man-Bat in there? But most likely some of these characters that he was talking about right here, like a Solomon Grundy or even a Man-Bat, could show up in season 2. So. That could be interesting, but Man-Bat. I mean, a Man-Bat kid, I mean, you can write a whole movie on Man-Bat. You know, you could do like a horror movie. But I mean, if you watch, I mean, literally the first episode, I don't know if it was the first episode that aired for Batman the Animated Series. I don't know if it was. I can't remember but I remember it was like the first production episode like that Scott and I talked about was the Man-Bat episode. And it was a really good episode. So, yeah, there was that, and let's see here. And then, of course, look at, what's his name posted, if I could find it here. Sorry. But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some Man-Bat in the future. If that's one of his faves, I'm like, bring it on, man. Bring on some of that Man-Bat. I swear to God, sometimes I just really can't find anything, it feels like, on my Twitter when I scroll. There it is. Jesus Christ. So we had... what's his name? Garrett Dillahunt. Garrett Dillahunt. That's right. He was in, if you guys remember, he was that douchebag in Army of the Dead. So obviously he's portraying Zach by working on a DCU project. He posted, we heard that there was going to be a camera test for the Lanterns show. And so he posted some images right here. So we got, of course, Kelly McDonald. That's her chair. And, of course, his. And then, of course, Kyle Chandler right there. And then posted this. Can't really see anything. So, obviously, they're keeping it pretty hush-hush. But I'm just wondering what exactly was the camera test. Maybe some interesting things. I don't know. Some reading some lines together. Maybe there's going to be something with the suits. I don't know. I don't know when Gunn's going to actually maybe post something. Could be interesting. I don't know. But that's pretty cool. Let's see. And I think that's pretty much it when it comes to stuff like that. So yeah, guys. Been a little bit of a rough, been a little bit of a rough week when it comes to Superman. You know, I mean, obviously, we got the footage that happened that came out that created a whole new level of the discourse like crazy, which is just it's all fun, right? It's all fun. But then, of course, we have Tom Welling. We have Tom Welling, of course, who played Clark in Smallville. Also, what happened on Sunday was, the guy. He got a DUI. He was arrested for a DUI in an Arby's parking lot. That's right. And this happened on Sunday. There's his mugshot right there, which mugshots never, ever look good. My first thought was, holy shit, that guy was about to just inhale about 7 roast beef sandwiches, put some of that Arby's sauce in there, some of that horsey sauce, just, maybe get one of, the ones with cheese on it. I don't know. Delicious. Perfect drunk food. I will say that. Perfect drunk food. He only, he blew a .08. He wasn't fucked up. He wasn't fucked up, that's for sure. It doesn't seem like it. I mean, .08, I don't know. I don't even know. What would that be? I don't know if he's like going to be like, super, but maybe he was a little, I don't know. But, I mean, I'm just saying, Arby's roast beef sandwiches with some horsey sauce, that just hits a spot if you have those drunken munchies, that's for damn sure. But it was just like, damn, all of a sudden, because this spread around yesterday. This happened on Sunday, and this started spreading around on Tuesday. That must suck. That must suck when this happens, and you know that once it goes out, it's just going to spread like wildfire on the internet. And it sucks because it's like, you don't know what he's going through. I mean, apparently he posted something, I think on his Instagram or something that day too, if he was having like a little family thing, It sucks because it's like, well, good thing is no accidents caused. Nothing happened with him. He had no drunken fight with the cops or anything like that. It's just he fucked up. He fucked up, and it's kind of part of me just goes like, well, dude, did you think about getting an Uber? Did you think, you know, I mean, it's not like he's like a superstar, but you know, he was a star at one point. He was known. He was in movies and a successful TV show. It's like, you know, he got the money, get an Uber, you know? Get some DoorDash if you really wanted that Arby's. I mean, who knows? Maybe he just went to a bar with some friends. I don't know. We don't know like the full details. I mean, it's booked on a misdemeanor, of course, but yeah, and hopefully he'll be all right. And they even said right here, the post, they said, obtain the star's booking sheet, which describes him as having a clear complexion with stubble and short hair, and I don't even know why that even counts, but he said like his speech was clear. His speech was clear. So he wasn't like, he wasn't like slurring or anything like that. So not too big of a deal, but of course, naturally, it just spreads like wildfire. And you know, it's just like, holy crap, you know. But yeah, so there's that. And then, of course, you know, the whole thing when it comes to the Superman. What's interesting about what's happening with the Superman trailer and that footage and everything like that. I mean, there's valid criticisms out there, even like when it comes to, you know, some websites are like, yeah, something looks a little off. You guys heard my opinion on it when I talked about it. I said, yeah, there's something that seems a little off. I think it's just because Corin Sweat is just so stone-faced. There's nothing really, you know, there's nothing really moving. It feels a little too smooth and stuff like that. So, and then of course that the fact that, you know, we found that there's a lot of practicality that's happening with it, with the background and with him and everything. It was like, okay, so there's just something with the lighting, maybe the color grade, and the fact that there's just no movement really going on his face. It kind of makes you wonder too, because, you know, still 6 months to do things, which, you know, that's probably a good thing. Probably a good thing that they've had all this time, and that's, you know, it's a smart thing that they don't have to, like, if they have to tweak something or even just remove certain things, it's only 2.5, 3 seconds. I mean, they might even, hell, we might not even see that scene in the movie now, for all we know. Who knows? And then who knows what the other footage is going to be. Well, what I've noticed too is like, I know some people out there have really just kind of been, you know, some creators, whether they create art or videos or something like that, or discuss or whatever, really starting to feel the wrath, okay? They're really starting to feel the wrath of a lot of the stuff that's happening right now. And you guys, I spoke about this when it comes to my own personal, like how I'm feeling right now when it comes to all this is, you know, 10 years ago, I said 10 years ago, I was defending a director and his Superman and was getting a lot of, you know, defending and it was a war zone. And now 10 years later, doing the same thing. And it's worse now. It's worse. It seems like it's worse, mainly because it's a decade later, and it's so funny too because it's crazy that it's a decade later. I mean, obviously it was all, you know, it wasn't just in 2015 or 2014, 2015. It was also 2016, 2017, 2018. But you know, like Brandon Davis, he posted a video and he got dragged. He got like they dragged him a little bit when it came to like, can we just like things and everything? I saw Spider Monkey, who's a digital artist too, like he posted a tweet that he actually liked the footage. He liked the footage of David Corn Sweat and Superman flying. And then of course he retweeted and he goes, Jesus Christ, who would have thought that just liking something would have, you know, caused some ruckus? I'm totally not, that's not what he exactly said, but he was just like, his mentions turned into a mess. And then you know, you got Robert Meyer Burnett also just kind of like seeing the wrath of all that too. And it's just kind of like, it is kind of interesting. And then of course I see some people, especially when it came to Brandon Davis's video talking about all this stuff, you know, I see people just kind of going like, you know, where was this energy back in 2015, 2013? And I always hate that because I'll see that in my mentions too. And I'm like, you know, for people that keep on telling people who love Christopher Reeve and get over the nostalgia and stop living in the past, why do these guys like to live in the past so much? I'm like, come on, guys. Come on. What are we doing here? It's like, Jesus Christ. Really? I mean, yeah, there was, yeah, that energy, yeah, sure. It was a whole different kind of energy back then. It is kind of crazy to think, like, that was a decade ago. Like, thinking about a decade ago when it came to when BVS was kicking into gear and everything like that, it was a decade ago. And isn't it weird how nowadays, like, a decade doesn't feel much different? Isn't that kind of strange? That was one of the things I was thinking about too, because if you think about, like, you know, the 50s to the 60s to the 70s to the 80s to the 90s, you just have like distinct, like, hairstyles, clothing, just different things. Different. But hasn't it seemed like in the past, like, 20 years, like, not, I mean, technology has changed, like cell phones, computers and stuff like that, sure. But when it comes to like styles and things haven't really changed all that much. It's weird. And I think, like, especially with COVID that happened, of course, in the last 10 years, I think a lot of people don't realize how long ago things were. I think people don't realize that. I mean, I especially say that when I start pushing back on you know, the whole Snyderverse and restoration of that. I'm like, you guys realize that we are coming up to the 4-year anniversary of the Snyder Cut coming out. Yes, it kind of feels like it came out like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, maybe half that time. But it's crazy what time is, the time just like flying by like that. And I think COVID really had to do with something like that. But I always just hate it when they're like, where was this energy? I'm like, okay, who cares? Yeah. Fine. So what? It's your turn now? Your turn now to drag people and act like assholes? I mean, that's what I keep on, like, complaining about. It's like, why? Okay, so did we not learn anything when it came to that? Because like I said, and like I called out, like, a specific Snyderverse Twitter account when they said, like, if you were excited about this, you have low expectations in life or something like that. And I was like, this is not what we were trying to, this is not the message we were trying to get out there. Even Zach was trying to get out there when it came to this kind of content. It wasn't the message that we're trying to do, but I think that message has been lost big time. It definitely has been lost. And, you know, and like I said, I'm just seeing like some fellow peers that are like really seeing that too and everything. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. I think it's only going to get worse. As the closer we get, you know, it's only going to get worse. But, you know, over time, you just develop that thick skin. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, I get dragged. If I post something, you know, I get dragged naturally when it comes to this stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's just, yeah, it was just kind of interesting seeing more reactions and seeing people who, you know, have pretty good followings who create content who are like, wow, really feeling like the wrath of all this. And it's like, yeah, it's pretty interesting because, you know, in the 2010s, we had Marvel versus DC, and Marvel was big time winning. And, you know, we had DC trying to do something different, and then it wasn't well accepted as we wanted it to. And then, of course, we created, you know, the Snyder fandom got created, which was great. And we all defended and got behind Zach. And then, of course, when it came to the Snyder Cut, we, you know, got together. I mean, of course, there was a lot of fighting even then. I mean, I got dragged so many times when it came to a lot of things. And then, but we got the thing out and we won. And that's the bad thing. It was like, that's what the thing that I will not understand. It's like, we won. We actually won. And then I just kind of go like, and I keep on saying this, and I've been saying this. I'm like, you guys really want to bring Zach back into this madness? It's worse. It's worse now. You want to bring Zach back into this? Instead of him doing original projects, you want to bring him back into this? When the discourse has gotten so much worse? You really want to do that? That's why I just kind of go like, why do you guys want to do that? I'm like, no, he's probably off in the distance, probably knowing that a lot of this is happening and just going, yeah, glad I'm not doing that anymore. Jeez. Good luck, James. You know, I'm just like, I don't know, why would you want him to come back? But again, it's not about him, it's about them. You know, it's like when fandom has gotten so ugly where everybody just latches on like their certain director or certain creator, and they're like, this person is God, you know, or something like that. But I don't know if they really think that. I think they just, I don't know, maybe it's the community they build and the people that they get with. I don't know what it is. It all should be studied. Basically, the last like 10, 15 years, maybe since the MCU started, there should be like, somebody should be making a documentary on how fandom has gotten to where it is today. I don't know. Somebody should do that. Maybe, I don't know. It's all crazy, but Yeah, but like what you like. Be excited for what you want to be excited for. There's nothing wrong with it. People are going to tell you you're wrong. People are going to say things. I mean, I get to the point now where I'll just read something and I just laugh and I'm like, I don't feel like engaging with that. You know? Sometimes if I have like a snarky little sarcastic comeback, I'll say something like that. But like I said, when it comes to the diehard Snyder fandom, I mean, those guys don't like me at all. And that's fine. Like I said, they could say all they want, and all I just say is, hey, well, DM me, turn on a camera, come on a stream, and we can have a healthy debate about it. Because I just think like some of these guys, I think they're miserable. I don't know. And I'm just like, hey, let's have a happy debate. Because I'm always like, I try to be positive about a lot of this stuff. I'll rant and rave about certain things, and of course, it just never happens. But, what can you do? And, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting what happens, what the reaction to all this and everything. And you better believe that Jimmy Guns is stressed, and that's where it's like, that's where he needs to pick and choose. Like when Jimmy Guns answered about Creature Commandos, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with like just throwing that kind of stuff out there. But like I said, sometimes he needs to pull back when it comes to at least like certain things. Like he probably didn't need to answer about like the Superman flight stuff. He could have just like let it be. But he's got an ego. He definitely has an ego. So, moving along, and speaking of Superman trailer not going to be happening. Not happening, which makes sense, which I don't think anybody thought that there was going to be a Superman trailer or, new trailer around Super Bowl. They're going to do that whole Puppy Bowl thing, which I think, smarter, bring the Puppy Bowl thing back. Everybody, there's people that love the Puppy Bowl. Again, you have Crypto, and Crypto is going to be an all-star when it comes to this movie, and, especially when it comes to the female demographic and kids as well. I mean, like I said, just go down that trailer reaction rabbit hole, and the reaction to Crypto is just like big time. So we're obviously going to have the Puppy Bowl thing, and we're probably going to get more footage, Crypto-centered footage when it comes to Superman, but there's not going to be a specific Superman trailer, which, totally don't do that. But we have this right here. We have Jurassic World Rebirth, Thunderbolts, Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning, among obviously the Super Bowl trailers. However, let's see what we're doing here. It says Disney, Paramount, and Universal are willing to pony up $7.5 to $8 million for a 30-second spot on Fox before an audience, which last year reached 123.7 million viewers across live linear streaming. For those in the dark, February 9th, of course, is when the Super Bowl is, and the Eagles and the Chiefs. So crazy because that logo is red and green. It's almost like they predicted it, right? It's all scripted. It's all scripted. Just kidding. Say what you will about linear being dead, but when it comes to live sports programming, it's still prime means to reaching a movie-going audience. So let's see here. So the number one studio of last year, of course, was Disney, and Disney has all the money. And most likely we're going to see like, mainly some going to be showing off. Obviously, Captain America, well, that's already going to be like, I don't know if they're going to actually show something like that. I don't know. We understand they're only going to be showing off 2 out of the 3 of their upcoming Marvel Studios movies, which include the upcoming Captain America Brave New World, Summer Kickoff Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four. That said, the studio has always launched the first look at the big summer, so most likely, maybe they're not going to do New World and you're just going to do the other 2. Universal, the number 2 studio with $1.88 billion domestic in 2024, will be wowing with trailers of Dean DeBlose's live action of the animated, of course, How to Train Your Dragon. And then, of course, Jurassic World Rebirth, and they said don't be surprised if you catch, of course, Blumhouse title Megan 2.0. That might be there as well, so we actually might get our first look at Megan 2.0, where this time she's not going to be the villain. That's right, they're going to do like a Terminator 2 Judgment Day thing. Paramount is no stranger to the Super Bowl, even when their sister CBS Network and Paramount Plus isn't broadcasting it. This year, the buzz is that spots will air. Spots of course, Novocaine with Jack Quaid, which that looks like a cool movie. Smurfs, I forgot that a Smurfs movie is coming out. That is starring Rihanna. I have little desire to see any of that. I don't even think I saw any of the last Smurfs movies, even though I was a fan when I was a kid. Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, which of course I would love to see a new trailer for that. And yeah. And then they say sitting out are Sony. Shocker. Sony? Yeah, of course Sony. What the hell do they got? Warner Brothers, but of course they're going to do the Puppy Bowl thing. Netflix, Amazon, MGM Studios, and Lionsgate. And it's not expected that Apple Studios will have anything either. So there you go. So you could expect nothing from, at least when it comes to trailer rise, from Sony, Warner Brothers, Netflix, and Amazon and Lionsgate. But looks like Paramount, Universal, and of course Disney is going to be all over that, spending all that money. There you go. And speaking of a Warner Brothers movie, hey, we got a Warner Brothers movie that's coming out this weekend. That's right. We got Companion that's coming out, which looks very interesting. I'm going to go see it tomorrow. I got a 5:30 showing that I'm going to be seeing. And what was good about Companion at first is like when you saw the teaser trailer for Companion, it looked like there was like what the fuck was this movie? It just was like, what is this movie? This doesn't even like it didn't make sense, especially when you see that scene of what's her name, like with her hand on fire. I was like, wait, what is this movie about? And then, of course, the full trailer, we find out, oh, she's like a sex robot or a robotic girlfriend or whatever you want to call it. But looks like it's going to be a critical darling because it is currently on the Devil Fruit site. It is at a 94% certified fresh. Certified fresh. Let's see what some of the critics are saying right here. So we got Companion begins where the Stepford Wives leaves off and offers a spiritual sequel, a tight, funny, and thoroughly satisfying revenge fantasy that plays all the better after the last election. Hancock might have leaned harder into this film's underlining ideas, which are rich with potential. As a director. Still, the movie is entertaining and more than a little mischievous. Companion is a total hoot. Once the cunningly concealed and highly combustive contents of Companion catch a light, the movie's fury unpredictability simply scorches the viewer into submission. An imperfect but entertaining thriller with a technological twist. Companion is darkly funny and has some great jump scares, but it's also a meditation on how some men have a default switch that makes it far too easy for them to be manipulative and abusive. That was Richard Roper right there. Makes a perfect anti-Valentine's Day movie for those wanting some blood in their bad romances. A rock'em sock'em rom-com with death and destruction, like an episode of Black Mirror if Black Mirror was also a laugh-out-loud riot. The cardinal sin of any movie is to be boring, and Companion is pure fun. So it sounds like it's a pretty entertaining movie. So, looking forward to it, actually. It was like I said, there was a mystery behind it with the teaser, but man, when you found out, oh, it's actually that's pretty cool. So look forward to my first reaction. It's about a fembot girlfriend who goes apeshit. Yeah, it is. Music Man, that's exactly what it is. So, is that Anya Taylor-Joy? No, that's Sophie, what's her name? Sophie Thatcher, right? Yes, Sophie Thatcher. She was in Heretic. She was in Heretic last year, which was a fantastic movie. She's like going to be the new It girl. I have a feeling she's like going to be the new It girl because first off, she's pretty gorgeous. She's got those, just like Anya Taylor-Joy, she's got those striking eyes. And and then Jack Quaid, of course, is just like he continues his name continues to go up, so that's good. Okay. And then now, all right, let me take a drink. Now we got your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. That's right, guys. I reactivated the Disney Plus and watched the first 2 episodes of the new Spider-Man series. And going into it, I was like, okay, animation looks interesting. All right, we got another Spider-Man series. All right. Of course, people were doing the whole, hey, it's woke, because everything is. And I get it, because they did race bend some characters like the Osborns and everything, and I was like, all right, well, I don't know, it doesn't really bother me. I'm just like, make it make sense, as long as the characters are interesting and it's cool, it's fine. That's not the only characters they did. Yeah, wait till they see what they did with Connors. I was like, oh shit, if you thought, yeah, not only did they changed the race and also the gender. Anyways, okay. I was like, yeah, there's some people that are going to be very upset about that one. So I watched it, and it starts off pretty exciting. And then at first you're just kind of going like, all right, at first it was supposed to take place in the MCU, then it's not in the MCU. And then I'm like, okay, so this is in another universe that is part of the multiverse, because essentially it is Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Technically, like, it is. There's even like a shot at the end of the first episode that, of course, just mimics what happens in Civil War. But of course, we already saw the shot. But instead of Tony Stark being in his house, it's Harry Osborn. And I was like, all right, that's cool. First episode, I'm like, cool, okay, interesting, because of what happens in there, which, a portal opens up and some shit happens. And I was like, okay, you're starting off with a bang right there. And then I was kind of going, okay, interesting. Kind of like how Peter gets the spider bite. All right, makes sense. Kind of makes you wonder, is that going to be working with Across the Spider-Verse kind of story? Because I don't know, I was starting to think about that story and certain things that happened in the last Spider-Verse. There's certain, I don't know if that's going to work with that whole universe and everything. I don't know. Interesting. And then I was like, okay, cool. The animation, actually, throughout the whole thing is cool. I don't really like the Spider-Man theme song all that much. It's fine. It's good enough. Like, it has like some of the old Spider-Man, but then of course, it's got a little more updated, and I'm like, it's whatever. But I like the first episode, but then the second episode, that's where it really kicks into gear. And, Peter now is like working, he's going to be working for like, for Harry, I guess you could say, or studying under Harry Osborn. And then there's like a thing, I won't say what happens at the end, but I was like, wait a minute, there's got to be, and then sure enough, it happened. I was like, all right, cool. There you go. That makes sense. That's a cool little, not really a twist, but I was like, oh, that better be part of it if I'm thinking that, yes, okay, cool. So honestly, I liked it more than I thought I would. I was kind of going, I don't know about this, but I kind of liked because his makeshift suit, the web shooters, I like the fact that he's got like the whole tank thing going on and like the hoses. So it kind of adds like more of a level of like the homemade suit. It's kind of just, it's interesting. So I'm kind of curious how that evolves and everything, but I'll stick around for it. I liked it. I dug it. So there you go. Watch it. Give it a chance. If you're a Spider-Man fan, why not? I mean, they've already greenlit seasons 2 and 3, I believe. So there's going to be plenty of Spider-Man. There's just so much Spider-Man. Why is it in another universe? Well, that's the thing. It's like it's in another universe, but it's like different versions of the same characters. That's the thing. It's like, I believe it. I mean, it is Tom Holland. I mean, like, you even see Aunt May, and it looks like it's Marissa Tomei. There's just similar things, but it's just there's just differences because you don't have obviously there's no MJ. There's Nico. There's no Ned. There's no Ned. So it's like, and you got just different characters, and then of course you have the Osborns, and yeah, it's basically just it's like it's them, but it's a different universe where there's different characters and things are playing out similar, but not quite. Like I said, it is kind of confusing, but I'm just like, I'm just watching a Spider-Man cartoon. That's all. Nothing wrong with just watching a Spider-Man animated series, right? All right. Let's go ahead and check out the questions that you guys have over on the tweets. We got Axel right here. Hey Dave, I'll give this new Spider-Man show a watch, but I've got high school Spider-Man fatigue. I want to see him as an adult again. Are you down for a Spider-Man 98 revival? Yeah, I think a lot of people were wanting that too when it came to X-Men 97. Also, this scene from Smiling Friends looks like Spider-Man. Looks like the Spider-Man show. Because of how the animation is. Yeah. I don't know, like the animation I thought was going to bother me, but I was actually okay with it. I'm not going to lie. Eric. Hey Dave, that Super Bowl article's mention of Mission Impossible Fallout had me thinking, have you seen the Fallout series yet? I have not. Have you heard anything about season 2? I have not. All I heard was they had to stop production because of the fires in California. It's kind of funny if you think about it. Darkness Under the Wind. Dave, question 1. With there being race swapping of Norman and Harry, and now another thing that has been swapped for another character. Yeah. Is this clear indication that Disney won't stop doing this anytime soon? Probably not. Question 2. Do you think Galactus will secretly travel with the Fantastic Four to the MCU in the end of the first steps and will abide this time making this move in the first saga of the MCU, therefore being the first saga level threat? Could. It's going to be interesting how they do all that, how they get, everything lined up. Let's face it, it's starting to get a little messy when it comes to the MCU. It's already gotten a little messy, but... Devin Wooter. Hello, Dave. Did you hear that Sebastian Stan? He said he's excited to see Supergirl. Yeah, he mentioned that he's very excited to see Supergirl. What day that James Gunn is going to reveal Lobo and Supergirl? Probably won't be for a while. The Lantern suits, we'll see what happens with that. That should be a good reveal. They should just have like a full promo shot of Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre in their suits, because it's going to be partially CGI. They should release like a full promo shot. Why not? Won't be for a while though, probably. HBO, what's your favorite scene from Mission Impossible 4? This scene right here was just nail biting and butthole puckering. Kenny, hey Dave. Looking forward to Superman and Supergirl in the DCU. A few questions. 1, when did you start reading comics? I don't know, sometime in the... I got Ghostbusters comics and Batman comics in when I was 5-6 years old. So for me, it was in the early 90s. See, mine was the late 80s, early 90s. So, and 2, what was the first film you saw in theaters? Mine was Back to the Future Part 2. That is a good question. What was the first one? It might have been Batman. Might have been Batman 89. That's the one I remember. I think there was one before it. I'd have to ask my parents. I might have saw something before that. Maybe it was it was probably The Land Before Time. I think it was The Land Before Time. Did that come out before? Batman 89? I think it did. I think I saw The Land Before Time. But I specifically remember watching Batman 89. I remember the movie theater. I remember the marquee. Mr. Nobody, hey Dave, it's a shame Tom Welling got arrested for a DUI, but on the bright side, he didn't die in a car accident. That is a bright side right there, Mr. Nobody. When I saw David Cornsway in the trailer, I really thought he was cockeyed. Yeah, I think a lot of people, and if you look closely, it does look a little weird. I guess it just has to do with that freaking wide-angle lens that they decided to use, and now they're probably going oh, shit. But, that could be something that could be fixed pretty easily in post, and they got time. And that's fine, but does that mean he could shoot lasers and hit 2 different targets? Hey, there you go. That'd be a new talent for a new Superman. That's a talented Superman right there. It's a talented Superman, but yeah, guys, like I said, next 6 months are going to be absolutely crazy. Like I said, I'm sure there's going to be more than one occasion where I'll have my mentions a mess, and it'll be crazy, and the live chat will be a mess too. Like the beginning of Monday's show, it was kind of a little messy when it came to certain things. But hey, That's just the way it is. It's not going to prevent me from having fun and having and being excited and discussing this stuff. And yeah, I mean that's just the way it is. When especially when you have a YouTube channel, you're putting out content. Guess what? You have followings. Yeah, there's going to be there's just groups out there, and they've built up, and they're just out to just be like, if someone says anything positive about it, they're going to jump on it. They're going to jump on it. They're going to say you're wrong. They're going to say this, and they're going to say some shitty things about you. That's just the way it is. But hopefully it doesn't get too crazy, you know. It has in the past, but hey, hopefully it doesn't get too crazy in the next whatever, you know. Who knows? I mean, obviously there's a lot riding on Superman. Hopefully, I hope it's successful. I don't think it's going to make $1 billion. I don't think it's going to flop, but it'll probably be successful enough that's going to continue this universe. Curious to see where it goes. And, I'll critique it when I feel like I need to critique it and everything. So, all right, that's it, guys. Love ya. And members, I'll see you guys in a little bit. We'll talk a little bit, and then, of course, we have DC Fanimated tonight. Scott and I are going to start talking about Batman Beyond. That's right, we're talking Batman Beyond. The first episode of Batman Beyond tonight. So if you want to take part in that, by all means. If you want to take part in the members-only stream, become a member, support the channel. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Everybody else I'll either see later, or I'll see you guys on Friday for the vodka stream. All right, guys, love ya. Talk to you later. Oops.